土世界都也阿拉和的三藐三菩提些。Nam mô Tát Đắc Tha Tu Gia Đa Gia La Đế Tam Miệu Nam Bồ Đà Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. 无上甚深微妙法，百千万劫难遭遇。我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Ching Liang, Great Master Shen Hua, all good monks and nuns, and all good new advisors, 阿弥陀佛。诸佛菩萨、清凉大士、师父上人、各位出家人、各位善知識，阿弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát kính thưa Thanh Lương Đại sư Hòa Thượng Thiên Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thượng thức A Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the 17th already of March 2024. Today we are coming to you from Dharma Chetri Temple in San Francisco. We are continuing to discuss the first chapter of the Avatamsaka Sutra. The World Rulers is the title. It describes, it gives us its name dropping and a brief explanation of their status and their what they do, why they're there. So we're on slide 528. Let's continue. Celestial King, banner of stars, gain a passage into liberation of, drawing near all Buddhas during their lifetime in the world, and observing the skill and means used to tame and subdue sentient beings.
心宿床天王，得一切佛初心，贤清净观察，调伏众生，方便解脱门。
Okay, these are the heavenly rulers of the fourth desire heaven. They're up there, in space. So it's a fourth level desire heaven, and they're very happy. So each heaven has different characteristics, and as we study more on the sutra, the Buddha will then compassionately fill in more information for us in later chapters about these heavens. And it's kind of insightful because this is a kind of knowledge and vision that the Buddhas have that ordinary people can never be able to develop. Only Buddhas have this kind of wisdom and powers. Okay, so this particular Savali King here is called Banner of Stars. Stars. He is very bright up there. And how did he become enlightened? He become enlightened. That's the meaning of gain a passage into liberation. Gain a passage into liberation, meaning that there are many ways for you to become enlightened. And to gain a passage into liberation, a passage means that you go through some sort of entrance. Or in Buddhism, we call it Dharma door, meaning that your method of practice that you focus on. For example, nowadays in Korea, the Buddhists in Korea prefer to, when they meditate, to do the hwato. So hwato would be a dharma door or method of practice that will enable them to gain a passage into liberation. Okay? As you can imagine, when you hear the word gain a passage, meaning there are many, many passages. Okay? In the world of China alone, there are countless Dharma doors. In the world of Pure Land, also many, many Dharma doors. In the world of Tantras, you probably heard of it already. There are tons of Tantras in the world as well. So each Tantra can be considered as a Dharma door, and you can gain a passage through these Dharma doors. Okay? Is that clear? So what it's telling you is that there are many ways to skin the cat, if you will. It's not just one simple way. And so that's why in Mahayana, great teachers like my late Chinese master, Master Hsuan Hua, he taught you can tell the level of wisdom by the number of Dharma doors that they teach. Okay? Because when you gain a passage into liberation, you are sort of like entering a world of enlightenment, and so many ways to get there. Okay, but once you get there, and eventually your wisdom, your enlightenment level is high enough, then you begin through this entry door here. You begin to understand all the other passages as well. It's not automatic. It takes time. You first need to become enlightened, meaning that gain a passage. And then these beings here, these celestial kings here, after they gain a passage, after they became enlightened, and what he's referring to is actually a pretty high level of enlightenment, okay, through this way, okay, that we discuss shortly. That at this sort of Dharma doors here enables them to open higher level of wisdoms. Okay? It's way beyond reciting Buddha's name, way beyond hwato, way beyond all these things. All the various Dharma doors that the monks and nuns are preaching nowadays. And that's a function of this Avatamsaka Sutra. It's a reminder to all of us that there's many, many more Dharma doors that you need to practice and you can practice in order to reach much higher levels of wisdom than just a hwato or just breathing or reciting Buddha's name alone. Okay? It's a big, big wide world out there. So what did he do? He, in order to open his current level, this is describing his current level of wisdom. When you learn Pure Land, we teach you to recite the Buddha's name, okay? And you do it well enough, eventually you can become enlightened. Actually, you can get very, very far. Sometimes some people can get a lot higher than the hwato or the Chan school by reciting a Buddha's name, okay? That's possible because that Dharma door is very profound, okay? Unfortunately, most people get sidetracked, and they don't realize they never could discover the depth of these Dharma doors. Or, for example, another example I can give you is breathing. A couple of days ago, this past weekend, someone asked me, "Will you teach breathing?" I said, "No, I won't teach you." It's because the current method of breathing as taught by the monks and nuns out there, or lay people out there, are they call it mindfulness of breathing and so forth. They are not ultimate, and so So my answer is no. I won't teach you breathing because I prefer not to. When you get a higher level, I teach how to breathe differently. Okay, but what I'm trying to tell them is that even breathing, meditation on breathing, breath meditation, you can go very, very far as well. Okay, that Dharma door alone. But unfortunately, at a lower level that's being taught right now by the scholars, by the Hinayana people, it's causes issues. Are self-limiting. That's why I don't like to teach breathing anymore. All right. So my point is here for these beings. It sounds simple, but this is describing the kinds of Dharma doors or practices that the high-level bodhisattvas and mahasattvas have to practice in order to get there. So it's way beyond us. Okay, it's not just Chan in terms of Hua Tou or Wan Yin Dharma door or breathing or whatever. Okay, so this is why it's insightful. So what did he do? In order to reach his level of enlightenment, his current level of enlightenment of a Mahasattva, he's very, very high level. So what he does to do is he makes sure to draw near all Buddhas during the time in the world. Here's what happens. Buddhas periodically appear in the world. When? When it's time to do so. What they do is they patiently wait until all the conditions are ripe, meaning, what does mean conditions ripened? Meaning that all the beings that they can save are gathered together at the appropriate time. So that's why right now, Maitreya Bodhisattva, the next Buddha, who will be coming in about 16 million years to our world, he's patiently waiting up there in this heaven, this fourth desire heaven in the inner court, where he's waiting and waiting until all the beings that he can save are able to be there when he becomes a Buddha in 16 million years or so. Okay? And that's what happens to every single Buddha that appears in the world. That process where actually they have to wait. Okay? All of them have to wait until it's the right time for them to do it, to become a Buddha. So this celestial king, banner of stars here, would make sure that every single Buddha, as you can imagine, is mind-blowing. Every single Buddha that appears in every single world. A world here is a Buddhist term for galaxy. So there's countless galaxies in the universe. So this particular heavenly king here, banner of stars, he would wait. And as soon as there's a Buddha that appears in the world and starts teaching, he would appear as well himself. To do what? To be a disciple of the Buddha. Okay? And what did he do? First thing he does when he's there is to observe the Dharma they speak. So they listen to the Dharma. That's number one. For them to reach high level of wisdom, you have to listen to the Dharma. Not just them, us as well. This is why we lecture regularly every single weekend, practically. Okay, that's our tradition. As most monks and nuns, eventually, you have to bide your time because I'm giving you time to develop skills and knowledge, and eventually, you have to speak Dharma yourself. Okay, all the monks and nuns. Not this lifetime, the next lifetime. And that's what you're supposed to do. This is one of the most important things that monks and nuns do, to speak the Dharma. So that by the time you become a Buddha, they perfected the speaking of the Dharma. Because of the perfection, there's no better place to learn, no one else better to learn from than the Buddhas when they speak the Dharma. And that's one of the most powerful ways of helping living beings end suffering and attain bliss. Okay? So all monks, all nuns, you eventually have to learn to speak Dharma. All right? The sooner the better. Okay? So just between us, I'll give you 10 more years. And then by the time I'm, before I retire I take my retirement and collect Social Security, you have to start speaking a Dharma and listen to you. I will tune in on all night, okay, and ask you questions. So, excuse me. So Buddhas, when they start speaking Dharma, this celestial king here would physically be there. Draw near is physically be there. So you can imagine all the various galaxies in the world, countless galaxies in the world. Imagine, think about the kind of power he has. He would go to every single, he's able to go to every single Buddha land in the universe and listen to the Buddha's Dharma. You're not impressed. Oh, they're not impressed. Sounds so trivial to you, huh? This is incredible spiritual powers. Incredible. Okay? And so, while Buddhas preach sermon, they give sermons and talk Dharma, this king here shows up and listens to them. All of them. All Buddhas. 一切. All the Buddhas. Okay? And not only when you listen to the Dharma, what the Buddha is speaking, it's sudden teaching. That is the most advanced sudden teaching there is. Okay? That's mastery of sudden teaching for the Buddhas when they speak Dharma. Okay? And not only that, he also did something that's very important, that he has a chance, because he's so near to the Buddha, okay, observe the expedients that Buddhas use to tame and subdue living beings. Meaning that sentient beings or living beings are very difficult, are very hard-headed. They don't listen. And therefore, in order for Buddhas to help living beings, they have to use expedients or skill and means. This requires a tremendous level of wisdom in order to tame and subdue sentient beings. Okay? To tame is necessary because you take out the excess energy, like the kids screaming. When the kids are screaming, okay, they don't listen, do they? So that's why you have to tame them so that you keep them in check. You rein them in. Okay. So, for example, some of the kids here, he used to scream a lot when he first came. Yeah. Okay. So that's why he has to be tamed a little bit. All right? See how how calm he is, yeah? and subdue. Subdue is requires you to be stronger. Okay, you have to subdue, pull in the reins of that horse. When you actually have to be stronger. Okay, have a way to overcome their objections. Okay, so sentient beings in Buddhism, the wisdom has it. In order for you to help sentient beings, you have to learn to tame and subdue them. That's the tip. Not just sentient beings. Hear it as subdue your children, subdue your subordinates. That's what it takes in order to help. Okay, so it requires wisdom, right? Skill in means. Skill in means is something that bodhisattvas who are at high levels become more and more skilled at doing, at deploying. So skill in means that, and I give you an example of my master, Master Shinhua. I looked at him, the way he does things, I don't understand. That's called skill in means. It's not what you think. And ultimately, these high-level beings of great wisdom, we can't understand. So it doesn't have to make sense to me. That's one of the things I learned over the years with him, is that it does not have to make sense to me at all. Okay? Because it's all skill in means. We cannot understand. Okay? Here's what happens. Why skill in means is so difficult to understand. I give you an analogy of the range. Okay? If you take something and apply it to only, let's say, the city of San Francisco, okay, which works, but it may not work outside the city of San Francisco. Okay, so that's why there is a range of efficacy. Whereas, so that's why people limited vision, limited wisdom, think they understand, demand to understand. For example, scientists demand to verify facts, and invariably these scientists know eventually that it can only validate it. The theory can only validate it within the domain. Outside the domain, it cannot. Okay, so there's limitations on these processes, and that's why the skill and means of the Buddhas, we cannot understand them. Low-level people cannot understand the skill and means employed by people of higher levels, because our range, our domain is much more limited, okay, than theirs. Okay, we don't understand why they do certain things, simply because we can't see far enough. Okay, and so, any questions about this? It's a different world. Yes, 8.
Master, I have a question not related to this. It's actually from Cordelia.
Yes.
So Cordelia wanted to ask, Amitofo Master, the seeds we produced, do they get more and more indestructible as our level increase? If yes, should we renew our vows as our level progresses until we reach Buddhahood?
I'm sorry, the first part, could you repeat, please?
the seeds we produced, do they get more and more indestructible as our level increases?
No. Okay, here's what happens. When you create karmas, that's a seed that's put in there. Okay, and so the conditions are there. And so you don't need to worry about increasing the quality of the seeds. What we do is that we create more seeds, continue to create more seeds. Okay, so as your level of samadhi increases, you create more seeds, the better qualities naturally. Okay, the more seeds, the better. Very much like when you don't have any skills, your level is low, then the evil seeds you create is damaging, but it's a lot more damaging when your skill levels are higher. So therefore, at low level, your evil seeds are there, but at high level, the seeds are even more dangerous, much more devastating. Okay, same thing. On the goodness side, low level, your good is limited. The more you improve, the far greater good you can have. All right? Anything else? "530. Celestial King, wonderful adornment, gain a passage into liberation of fully knowing sensing beings' thoughts in a single thought and manifesting according to their potentials."
妙庄严天王，得一念悉知众生心，随机应现解脱门。
Okay, here's what this celestial king does. Okay, he sits there in samadhi, and then he strikes up a thought. He says, "I want to know what the two little boys at DTT are thinking of right now." Okay? So that's fully knowing sensing beings thought is in single thought. That's what it means. He says, he decides to help these two boys, for example. He says, he sits there and says, okay, what is it they're thinking? Meaning what? What is it they want? Not thinking. What do they want? Huh? You see, it's abstract, a little bit abstract, the way that the Buddha, the dharma is spoken to you. But this is actually in action. Yeah? It's like, what do they want? They want a teddy bear? Okay? Oh, what? Actually, he's actually listening. Okay? They want guns? Okay? And so forth. And so meaning that he directs his thoughts on the specific living being, a group of beings there. He says, what do they want? So that shows that he's able to read their thoughts. Okay? That's a spiritual power. So in a single thought, meaning he strikes up a thought. Okay? He says, I want to help these two. It's not like he's thinking, no, he says, I want to help the children at DTT on Sunday, March 17th, which is St. Patty's Day. That's why they're in green, by the way, you Asian people. Okay? You're going to give them green beer today? No? Oh, so boring. Parents. Anyway, This is a long time since I last drank green beer. And I remember, after lunch, the tongue is green. Never mind. And so he thinks and says, I'm gonna, the thought, in single thought means I want to help these two boys today, okay? And so he can tell what they want. And because he can see what they want, okay? And he would then, what does he do? Manifest according to their potentials. Meaning that he would manifest because he sees the boys as what they're doing right now. Okay, it's no point in trying to speak dharma to them. They would not be interested. So potential means what can they absorb? How can I interest them? How can I capture their attention? Okay, so it manifests, for example, a green panda bear for this boy here. And that's what he means by manifesting according to their potential, so that he connects with them. He's drawn to the Dharma. Yes, in order to help living beings, you have to have something that they want. Okay? That's what he does. And so that enables him to develop the powers to do his job right now in the fourth desire heaven. Okay? And when he's up there, he's known as wonderful doorman, meaning that he's very adorned. He's very cool to look at. Okay? 532. At that time, Celestial King Contentment received the Buddha's awesome might, contemplated the multitudes of the heavens' contentment, and spoke the following verse.
尔时，知足天王成佛威力，普观一切知足天众，而说颂言。
Okay. It's worthwhile to remind you that this assembly, or this group of beings who were gathered there to listen to Shakyamuni Buddha speak of this sutra here, there's this countless celestial kings from this fourth desire heaven. Because there's so many of them, this version of this sutra only lists out 10 of them. Okay, and by order of stature, the first one listed is the most powerful one. So this is the first one listed, the Celestial King Contentment. Okay, so he, as a leader, the most influential celestial king of that, all the celestial kings, the countless celestial kings from a fourth desire heaven, which is called the heavens of contentment, they all gathered there to listen to the Buddha's sermons. And so this one here is a leader, would based on the Buddha's support, spiritual power support, speak the following verses to repeat the teachings. Okay, so the teaching now is important enough that it has to be repeated through a verse. Okay, so it brings up slightly different angles to reinforce the teaching. 534. The thus come one vast and great pervades the Dharma realm towards all sentient beings. He is completely equal and level.
如来广大遍法界，于诸众生悉平等。
Okay. 535. Thus come one is one of the 10 titles of the Buddha. actually countless titles, but we only have to memorize 10 titles. Okay, and thus come one is one of them. Ru Lai. That's how he came. He came here, the one who came here that way. Okay, that's how he chose to come. Vast and great. Vast here refers to the range. Remember, we sensing beings have limited range. It's only so much our mind can muster, can conceive of. All right? So that's what vast here, meaning that it's a reminder that the Buddha's perspective is very vast. It's vaster than ours. Okay? It's a reminder of our limitations versus the Buddha's. So when it says vast, is that it's expensive. Okay? And great. Great here refers to a certification of the great results. He's great because he's recognized by others as great. Recognized by who? By other Buddhas as great. By his peers. Okay? So, great here refers to a historically verified, historically confirmed, validated greatness, great value. Okay? Pervades the Dharma realm. Okay? So thus come one vast and great here. His vastness and greatness pervades the Dharma realm. That's the scope of his influence. Okay? Towards all sentient beings, he is completely equal and level. It's not completely. In Chinese, this is where sometimes the translation kind of falls short. See here is not completely, is all. Okay, see is all, not completely. All meaning that all inclusive. Okay, completely is not the same concept to me. Okay, so all, see is all, but completely is okay. We can go with it. Equal and level. Again, the translation here, that's what my master's disciples chose to translate as equal and level. It's okay. But actually, the Chinese meaning to me is much more profound. And Chinese conceptually says ping. Ping here is flat. Flat, meaning that he sees us when the thus come one looks at us, whether it's a boy or the other boy or the adult or the teddy bear, it's equal, it's flat, it's the same to them. No discrimination at all. Okay, so ping is the same. He looks at men, women the same, it as the same, adults is the same, okay? Children are the same, okay? Blacks is the same, white is the same. It's all the same to them. There's no discrimination whatsoever. That's what ping is flat. No high and lows. He doesn't say, like in the Asian cultures, we prefer male over female. I mean, it used to be in my generation. Now I'm told that now the females are preferred over the males. No, it's not true. Well, not that. Not in my lifetime. I'm kidding. Okay, so that's why ping is flat. Okay, it refers, which is connected to the fact that why in our landscape there's mountains, there's valleys, is because our minds are not ping, are not level, are not flat. We have discrimination. We prefer this, we don't like that. We prefer this, we dislike that. That's why it's up and down. Okay? It's not flat. Whereas Buddha's, his level of wisdom, he's totally, looks at everything as flat, as equal, and tongue. Tongue is level. Level here, the way they explain it is equal and level, but actually level here, to me, tongue here is that I'm with you. Buddha says, you and me are one. That's the wisdom we're talking about. The free from we are all one and the same. Tongue is no different. I'm Buddha, so are you. You suffering, so do I. Okay? I'm no different from you. Tongue is, we're all the same, we're all together. Agree or you disagree with this, with my interpretation of Chinese? I know too many Chinese here in Northern California, so I have to be careful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not counting children. Please speak up. I take a lot of liberties, okay, for the heck of it. So far, so good. So this is what makes Buddhists different from us. Okay? Ping is they don't discriminate. Tongue is that they're together with us. They don't see them as, I'm Buddha, you not Buddha. I'm monk, you not monk. That's a kind of distinction which is meant by tongue here to me. Okay? I eat the same thing as you. I don't want any special treatment. Yes, 6.
Just my personal take, I feel done is actually equal.
How about ping?
Ping level.
Same thing?
Ping is level, done is equal.
Then we should have explained it as level and equal.
And the translation actually is completely equal in the level, which is ping done. But the bottom
level and equal.
Yeah.
Which is a closer. Okay, let's hear from the other Chinese. Level. No objections? Okay, then we keep level and equal. We flip it around. Okay? That's fine. That works for me too. So level, again, is impartial, and equal is the same. Okay? Equal. Okay. Thank you. 536. Universally responding to the multitudes, he expounds the wonderful doors, causing them to enter inconceivable pure dharmas.
普应群情阐妙门， 令入难思清净法。
Okay, 537. Universally responding to the multitudes. Okay, universally says that is nowhere he's not willing to go. Okay, for example, here in a city, the places I'd rather not go, like Oakland, downtown, Chinatown, Oakland. My being Asian looking, I would not go to Chinatown, Oakland. Not funny to you, never mind. And so universally that means nowhere he can't go or he's not willing to go. In order to respond, to ing is to go and to, in response to request or need to help of the multitudes. Okay? And when he responds, what does he do to help them? He expounds the wonderful doors. Wonderful doors refers to the methods of practice, the dharma doors. Man, door is short for dharma doors. And wonderful means that it's a lot deeper than you think. Remember earlier today, is it earlier today or this morning? I don't remember anymore. I explained to you that even the breathing, Dharma door, is wonderful because it's very profound, it's very deep. It's not the way that is explained by the current teachers out there, monks or nuns or lay people. The way they explain that breathing meditation technique is not wonderful. It's very shallow. Okay, so that tells you that something as wonderful as breathing, meditation on breathing, can be expounded at a very, very low level as being done right now with the Dharma door of breathing. Meditation on breathing right there is actually a wonderful Dharma door. It's very, very profound. Okay? So that's the nature of the myriad doors that in Buddhism that's available to us to teach and train our people. They're all wonderful. It's because they are so profound. They produce wonderful results. Okay? Causing them to enter inconceivable pure dharmas. Inconceivable. There's a purpose for doing this. You can talk all you want, but ultimately we try to bring the multitudes, okay, to enter into pure dharmas and inconceivable. And so you have these concepts here of inconceivable, meaning that we cannot possibly explain to you how beneficial it is, how wonderful it is. The wonderful benefit you gain from these Dharma doors are way beyond your comprehension. We cannot possibly explain to you. Okay? That's the word inconceivable, which is a concept that is repeated throughout this sutra, because it's the state or the realm of the Avatamsaka Sutra is inconceivable. It has a way of expanding way beyond our imaginations. Okay? See, in other words, it helps us expand our mind. Okay? When you find it inconceivable, when something is described as inconceivable by someone, that means its mind has been expanded a little bit. They say, wow, I didn't know that before. And then you look closely again, it's still inconceivable, meaning the range has been expanded. That's this flower adornment sutra purpose. That's why you keep on hearing the word inconceivable. All right? And pure dharmas. Pure dharmas. This is the dharmas that will enable you to attain utmost purity. There's no more defilements. And that's what Buddhism is about. Buddhism is about not success. The criteria for attainment is purity, like nirvana. These pure dharmas enable you to enter nirvana. So it's a reminder that happiness, nirvana is the ideal happiness, if you will. You need to use the worldly word happiness, concept of happiness. Nirvana is ultimate happiness, high level of happiness, can only achieve through purity. All right? 538. The Buddha's body appears everywhere in the 10 directions without attachment, without obstructions. It cannot be grasped.
佛身普现于十方，无着无碍，不可取。
Okay. Commentary. Buddha's body appears everywhere in the 10 directions. And then from Master Shinho's teaching, transforming all living beings, causing them to bring forth in the past, resolve for Bodhi, accomplish Bodhi's fruition. Okay? No, that's not what this is about. What he's describing is that this Buddha had this body called Dharma body, which is pervasive and is everywhere in the 10 directions. Bluntly speaking, what is this Dharma body? It's everything you see. This glass, this wood, this building, this teddy bear, you, me, everything is Buddha's Dharma body. All right? That's his body. This is our bodies. When you become a Buddha, you see that your body is this universe, which includes what? All the Buddhist teachings. Every single thing in this universe is a Dharma body. All right? And 10 directions. So not only you're conceptually thinking of, but also 10 directions. It expands in all directions. All right? What's another aspect of this Buddha body here? Is without attachment, without obstructions, it cannot be grasped. And here, now I agree with Master Shoa's elaboration. Without attachment, Master Shoa explains it as true emptiness. Meaning the Buddha is attached to nothing. Okay? He doesn't grasp, depend on anything. When you talk about attachment, there's a dependency. We depend on our wife for love and comfort. Okay, so that's the nature of attachment. We still have greed. We still have needs. That's why we are attached to our needs. Okay? So without attachment, meaning they're free of needs. Okay? They have no needs. They have no desires. Okay? And that's why it's called true emptiness. It's zero. It depends on nothing. And yet, when you depend on nothing, then you have everything. That's it. The other side of the equation. True emptiness equals wonderful existence. The equation has two sides, depending on which side you look at. It's the same thing. Okay? One side is that it's free. It has no attachment. Therefore, it's zero in here. Attachment is without attachment, meaning that you have nothing. Nothing sticks. Okay? You throw it at him, it drops. Nothing sticks. Doesn't get stained. Okay? For example, here we have something called dust. Yeah? We need to dust our stuff, our houses, our furniture constantly, because the dust settles on them. And that's a proof that a manifestation of our attachments. If your attachments, dust will collect and will show where our attachments are. Okay? Without attachments, then where does it dust settle? Nothing. It cannot settle on anything. That's why it's called true emptiness. So far, so good. The other side of the equation is wonderful existence. Okay? Wonderful existence is, true emptiness is nothing there. Wonderful existence is everything is there. Not just there, but everything is wonderful and there. Kind of a beautiful terminology. Is there and it's wonderful. When it's wonderful, then are there any obstructions? When you're happy, okay, the analogy is when you're happy, nothing bothers you. Yeah? You say, I'm so happy. You're so mean to me. You insulted me. I'm so happy today, honey. I forgive you. Okay, I ignore you. I ignore your insults because you're so happy. That's where wonderful comes in. Your insult is also wonderful. Your moods are also wonderful. That's a wonderful existence. Nothing bothers you. Everything is wonderful. One side of the equation, no attachment. If you have no attachment, then it's also wonderful existence. You have no attachment, you have zero here, then you also have everything on this side, depending on which side you look at. That's why true emptiness is wonderful existence, and wonderful existence is true emptiness. That's the avatamsaka concept. How do you use it? What's the practical aspects of this? Let's say you're depressed. You feel depressed. Just in case, I'm not looking at anyone in particular. Just you feel depressed. Which part is it? Which side is it? This is very important. This is why we teach you these things, because there are practical aspects of it. that the Chinese don't explain to you. You're depressed. You feel depressed. Which side is it? Which side? Life has only two sides, true emptiness or wonderful existence. Which side does depression belong? You don't know? I just told you. Wonderful existence. He only, the abbot says existing. He doesn't dare say wonderful existence. It should be wonderful existence, mind you. When you have wisdom, then you see it as wonderful existence. If you don't have wisdom, that's why you say it's depression. His existence is actually depression, right? That's what he means. So clearly, he doesn't have wisdom yet. Okay, that's why he sees it as depression, as existence. Is that clear? He can't deny, I'm depressed, I feel depressed. Okay? So what do you do to deal with depression? Go see a shrink who's also depressed, by the way. You know that most shrinks I know are all depressed. I haven't met a shrink who's not depressed. I haven't met a crazy patient doctor who's not crazy. I'm poking fun of one of my disciples. Yes, 4.
You go to the other side of the emptiness.
Go to the other side of emptiness. See, again, this woman here doesn't embrace true emptiness. You only embrace this emptiness.
Get to the point.
See the range? See the range? Okay, so in practicality, you feel depressed. It's existence, according to him. Okay? It's existence. So far, so good? What do you do? In order to cope with this depression, what do you do? If you stay here, you're going to be in trouble because it's real to you. Yeah? It's here. Existence meaning you feel depressed. You feel bad. This on this side. Okay? You're being taught, you're being trained to go from existence to emptiness. Let's say by reciting a Buddha's name. Are you able to do that? Not yet, right? Can you? Not yet. What you do is that if you feel depressed and you reach a level, the skill level where you can empty yourself. Who's feeling depressed? You, yes? You feel depressed. There's a I am not feeling good. I am depressed. There's an I there. Yes? So this is very scientific, folks. You don't underestimate. This is very scientific. I feel depressed. Okay? So in order to go from existence to emptiness, you empty yourself. There's no I. So you enter this samadhi that where the I disappears. So therefore, depression, where is depression? Poof! No more depression. No one ever explained this for the Buddhists, the Chinese Buddhists, by the way. I never read any such explanation in Korean, in Chinese, in Vietnamese. Okay? It's the first time I explained to you in English. So far, so good? So this is where your spiritual training matters. It's consequential. It's important because when you practice reciting Buddha's name, reciting mantras, okay, meditating, reciting sutras, bowing to Buddhas and so forth, it's wonderful existence on this side, isn't it? And you need to be cognizant of the fact that as you're training in this wonderful existence side, you need to bring yourself to the level where it matters ultimately to you, because there's some point in time, if you're struck with depression, you're afflicted by depression, and you realize you're suffering, your depression is making you suffer, then you can choose to use your training to go from existence to emptiness, to escape your depression. Does it make sense to you? You see, if all these years is to illustrate that point. You Chinese people followed all the Chinese teaching, that's all you know. But until today, I explained to you how to cope with depression. Your skill, your training can help you escape depression. That's a rather low level I just described to you. It's a much, much more, okay? Well, I don't want to overwhelm you. Looking at your levels, I don't want to overwhelm you. There's a lot more. Because I only explained to you existence. I haven't explained to you wonderful existence yet. I only explained to you emptiness. I have not explained to you true emptiness yet. I only use a subset of wonderful existence and subset, a tiny portion of true emptiness, to help you cope with something which is a real plague in our society nowadays, whether it's in China, Japan, Korea, Vietnam. So many people, old and young, particularly young people, suffer from depression, and they're totally at the mercy. They're overwhelmed. There's nothing they can do. No one can do. Okay? Only through meditation, ultimately, you can empty yourself. Okay? Next low level, those you who are saying, but I can't empty myself. What's my next best resort? Does that interest you? If you're not interested, I'm going to stop. No interest. I want this to help you see your progression. No interest. Okay, that's moving on.
Yes,
What?
my master.
What? Did I hear something? 什么东西? Huh? What? Hey, calm down. Settle down. Okay, so I look like I can't go, huh? Okay. If you cannot empty yourself, next level is what? I'll teach you next level, because there's some people here, of many of my disciples cannot empty themselves yet. That's the next level. I'm teaching you, I'm reminding you what you're capable of. Those you are able to empty yourself, you don't have to empty yourself. You can do the next, not as good level, just for the heck of it. Would you be interested in learning? No? No? Yes? Donation basket, pass around. Okay? Next level. If you cannot empty yourself yet, let me describe to you. Next level, remember, depression is what? You feel bad, yeah? You feel sad. You feel sleepy. Yeah? You feel unmotivated. You feel low energy. Yeah? You don't feel good, ultimately. Yeah? The word is feel. Common denominator is feel. So next low level, before you can empty yourself, is cut off the feeling. And you go to empty feeling. It's no empty self, but you have a feeling of sadness, feeling bad. You cut off that feeling bad, you go to zero feeling, which is quite close to emptiness. Who's in charge of your life? Let me ask you. Why do you allow those depression ghosts and manic ghosts to rule your life? Only because you don't know how to regain control, to wrestle control back. Okay? So in this training here we're giving you is first measure is empty yourself so that you have existence of depression. You empty it so that is zero depression. It's empty depression. Is it clear? You cannot do that yet. I know most of you cannot do that yet. Many of you in Korea, in the US, are able to recognize, I am having the blues. I'm not feeling good. Pay attention. When you're not feeling good, you can enter samadhi, and those not good feelings would go away. If you feel sad, the key word is feel. Are you listening? When you feel sad, you feel depressed, yeah? You cross your legs and enter this no feeling samadhi. That's almost emptying yourself. That's how you recover. You do not allow your sadness to take over your life. Otherwise, you are a victim of your depression. Okay, so let me save the wonderful existence and true emptiness for maybe in 10 years. I explain to you when you're there. Can I elaborate more? I promise the 6 of you here today, 8, 9 of you here, 10 of you here today, and get a list of the people present today. In 10 years, if you close enough, I explain to you how to do wonderful existence and true emptiness to deal with your challenges in life. Any questions from JC? Yeah, go ahead.
Master, I have a question.
Yeah, about depression or affliction?
Everything.
Everything. Okay. Ask.
Yeah, so you said we can enter the no feeling samadhi.
Yes.
Can you enter there?
How can you?
Yeah,
Cross your legs.
I see. Thank
You cross your legs. And you meditate. You can enter. When you feel sad, you remember. When you notice, when you're feeling sad, you don't complain. You say, this is Xian An's fault. Xian An's fault. Don't blame it on anyone else. Xian Pu's fault. Okay? No, it's no one's fault. You say, I'm feeling sad, it's my fault. So you cross your legs instead of lying down and rest. And say, I'm not feeling, I don't feel like getting up. I'm going to lie here. And no, you do that. That's for losers. Okay? When you're feeling sad, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling sad, you cross your legs and you meditate and you say, I want to enter this no feeling thing. I'm telling you, XF, that you can do that. And your sad feelings will evaporate bit by bit by bit by bit. All right? You can fight, meaning that if you do that, let me tell you, for you in particular, because you asked the question, these people don't have that problem. The rest of the world doesn't have that problem. I'm only talking to you, okay? It doesn't apply to anyone else. If you're bad feeling this much, when you do that XF, here's what happens to it. It shrinks. Okay? And if you keep on doing that, I'm very, very specific, and keep doing that, of course, at first, you don't believe in yourself. I'm telling you that you can do it. Okay? You, yourself, personally, can enter this samadhi that all the sad feeling will vanish. Hey, white hair mama. Okay? Got that? You can do it. And then eventually, they'll crank it up. Don't have a victory lap yet. Enjoy it while you still can. But eventually, they will escalate. All right? Your obstruction will escalate. That's why it's called wonderful existence. Do not be so proud. Do not be so full of yourself, because the obstruction will increase. Nothing is static, folks. Only losers would say that, think of life as static. It's not. It's in flux. It changes constantly. So the moment, I'm teaching her that she can handle it. At times she can handle it. But don't be surprised, because of the nature of wonderful existence, that they will crank it up. Which give you a chance to crank it up yourself. What is that called? It's similar to weight training. We lift heavier and heavier because we need the heavier resistance to grow stronger and bigger. Yeah? Same principle. Don't bemoan and say, oh my God, why so difficult? Of course, they occasionally will crank it up. That's why it's the nature of wonderful existence. They will crank it up. Okay? And therefore give you a chance to grow stronger, to do it better and better and better and faster. Okay? And to the exception that eventually, because it's called wonderful existence, they're so strong that you cannot overwhelm them. That's what happens. You call the old abbot. Say, Master, I cannot do it. That's when you get help. Okay? What I'm trying to tell you is that in our world, we let you take care of it first yourself so that you build your muscles. Okay? Here and here. But I'm warning you, there will come a point in time when it's way beyond you. That's when help is available. If you ask prematurely, we ignore you. But give it a good tug and work hard, will help you grow. Have no fear. Buddha is here, as it rhymes. Wei Mount.
Yeah, but I was going to ask the same question. If you have strategies for us on how to take out the feeling part for the rest of us?
The rest of you who cannot end your feelings?
That's why.
That's the next level.
Yeah.
Yeah? Next level. Okay?
Yeah.
Remember, the notable level is when you can go from existence of depression, as you use one example. Mental illness is the nature of all mental illnesses, by the way. You have existence of this problem, mental problem. That's existence. You can empty yourself so that it cannot bite, has nowhere to bite. There's no one who's feeling bad, no one who's depressed. Okay? That's our training. That's what you, monks and nuns, I expect you to get there in our world. No excuses. We invest in you so that you can get there and beyond. Okay? Next level, and many of you are there already, that's why I explained it to you, that you cannot empty yourself yet, but you can empty your feelings. Okay? We explained that already. And finally, next level is a big range here, where you cannot empty your feelings, okay? But you can compress it so that your bad feelings are not as overwhelming. You can do something about it yourself. If the way they attack you, this much intensity, okay, it's very much like taking some aspirin, and it will compress it a little bit. That's what it does. That's your skill level. Depending on your skill level, this is why we keep on stressing improvement, because depending on your skill level, you could compress that. Those bad feelings, okay? From low level here, first dhyana, a little bit. Second dhyana, a little bit more. Third, fourth, and so forth. Up here. When you get to this level, that's when you get zero feelings. You can cut off your feelings. We're very precise. We don't talk. You have to train yourself so that you can do it yourself, like many before you have. I notice you've been with me for a long time. I never explained it to you until we get to wonderful existence and true emptiness. Stop here today. Thank you, everyone. Okay? Did I answer your question? You keep the short question, you keep on practicing. As you improve, your bad feelings will decrease. Okay? You won't feel as bad when you cross your legs and meditate. If you're this depressed and you cross your legs and meditate instead of sitting there and sleep, then you reduce your bad feelings. And your skill level Depending on your skill level, it compresses the bad feelings.
Thank you, Thai.
Okay, you're welcome, little girl. Any other questions on way bound?
I have a last quick question. Thank you, Master. So what's the difference between feeling manic versus feeling depressed?
Same thing. Any feeling. We call it manic, we call it paranoia, we call it whatever. It's just a label. You understand? It doesn't matter what the psychologists, the shrink call it. It's just a feeling. Any feeling you have, okay? You can empty the feelings. All right? So that's why do not panic and say, "Oh my God, I feel bad again." No, when the key word is feel. When you have this feeling here, whatever the feeling is, you can empty it. Is that clear? That's all. You didn't know before that you can empty it. You have the ability, but you don't know how to. That you're supposed to do that. Now I explain to you. If you go, for example, to many Hinayana temples, I don't care whatever it is, whether Thailand or Myanmar or Sri Lanka and so forth, the teachers are not trained on wonderful existence and true emptiness. That's why they struggle with knowing how to cope with these various issues. They will not. So what this section here is very important, okay? And Peter, you could consider editing it, cutting it out so that we don't, we charge people for it. It's worth paying for it, let me tell you. If I were depressed, I were manic, I were, have anxiety issues, Anyone today here? Okay. Don't blame it on your parents. Don't blame it on your wife. Don't blame it on your husband. Okay? It's you. You recognize your feeling and you empty it. And if you step further, step higher, you recognize you are manic, you empty yourself. Who's manic? No one's manic. No one is depressed. Yes, 7.
Thank you, Master. We will file this away for our YouTube channel members-only content in the future.
This is, let me tell you, this is worth a lot of money. This is invaluable to the world. And I've been very patient. I started by helping people who have mental issues like mania or depression, so forth. 12 years ago, 15 years ago, on Saturday night, we have a mentor session there, is to help such people. Never explain anything until today. It's manageable. You don't have to be a victim. And the only way I know of that you don't need to use meds, okay? And you know that it's something you must do yourself. You cannot lie on a couch and talk to people because that's not going to solve the problem. You have to get out of range. You have to empty your feelings. You have to empty yourself. That's the only way. Meds is not going to help it. People telling you, no, you stop, just be nicer to your husband. It's not going to help it. It's like a Band-Aid. Okay? It will come back. But the training here you're receiving, the just development of the skill set here will help you. That's the only way possible. Of course, there's other ways. But that's not today's thing. That's part of the rest of wonderful existence. Yes, JMT.
Với Đức Phật, Thầy nói vậy có phải là khi mình ngồi kiết già thì bắt đầu mình cái cảm thọ nó lên như vậy thì mình tự hỏi mình, giống cái trí huệ bát nhã dạy mình đó. Mình hỏi ai là người mà bị khổ như vậy? Ai mà làm tôi khổ, mà tôi là ai vậy? Thì mình cứ quán cái đó hoài, có phải vậy được không?
Go. Let me explain to him in Vietnamese, and you have to learn Vietnamese. We're not going to translate this. Okay. Khi mà con ngồi mà cái cảm giác nó lên như vậy đó, cái trình độ của con đó, con chỉ không cái thân, cái ngã của mình thôi. Không cần biết nó là cái gì hết. Cái thọ, cái tưởng, cái thức, nó khởi lên, mình nhận nó là cái thọ, mình nhận nó là cái tư tưởng, thì mình empty mình nó biến mất ngay lập tức. Đó là trình độ của con. Hiểu chưa?
Hiểu.
Not for you. Have to be Vietnamese. Again, Peter, Vietnamese paying section.
Oh, thank you, Master. I work with Ahong.
We have a library of free materials and subscribed materials.
Gamong, gamong.
Come on. Okay, everyone, thank you. Rebirth transference.